In this video, I'll be going to Denny's and Red Lobster to find out if Japan can do American food better than America, or if all this will end up a complete disaster. That is a texture that only a mother could love. This isn't fast food, this isn't high-end, it's a little something called casual dining. And I want to witness for myself how insanely different the menus here in Tokyo, Japan are from those in the USA. Right now we're headed to our first location, Denny's. But what is Denny's? Denny's is a 24/7 American diner chain. If I go to a Denny's in the USA, there are some usual suspects that I'm expecting to find. There's pancakes, waffles, there's the Grand Slam breakfast, a classic. But is there any way they have those same classics here in Japan? Or maybe, are they doing something better? Let's head in now to find out. It's remarkably busy in here. Japanese people love Denny's. All right, I've arrived. I've been assigned a seat. Oh, iPad. Menu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Sometimes I try to say thank you in Japanese. Halfway through I mess it up and I just charge through to the end. Arigatou. Let's talk about what's happening at this table. First of all, this is the morning menu. Here we also have the lunch menu. We'll get into that later. We have the aroma fresca ginza. We have dessert, other dessert, the grand menu, and we have the kids menu. Have you ever seen so much paperwork at a restaurant, especially a diner? So let's get into breakfast. Right here we have scrambled eggs, we have basted eggs, eggs sunny side up, over medium eggs, and prosciutto Caesar salad. We have a load of carb options down here. So far, I'm a little bit disappointed that I'm not finding anything that's very Japanesey. Until I came upon this. Rice and miso soup with natto? That is fermented soybeans. This is why you wake up early to come here to Denny's to eat natto. Do you think if I went to Michigan and I went to a Denny's, I would find natto? I do not think so. It's very good, right? Natto?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, you like this. So I'm definitely gonna be ordering this. Additionally, they have corn soup. They have prosciutto Caesar salad. They have banana. Wait, is that just a banana in a cup? Oh, on the back, there's a whole other thing going on. Here you can get grilled salmon breakfast. You can get rice porridge with shrimp and chicken. Here you can get a variety of pastas, and they also serve a hamburger steak. Beyond that, you can get a whiskey highball. That's amazing. Here they don't really have the Grand Slam like we have in the USA. They have this. They call it the brunch plate. So from here, I'm gonna figure out how to order on the iPad. Ooh, alcohol menu. Highball. No plan on driving? The only option is yes. Too bad that I actually do plan on driving. So I'm gonna get rice porridge with shrimp and chicken. Right here, banana. Definitely getting one of those. Oh, soft-boiled egg. Let's get some natto. Soup. Seaweed. Miso soup. Your order was successfully processed. Very cool. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. That was pretty good that time. Cheers. Now we wait for the rest of breakfast. Oh, it's so good. Oh, banana. Arigatou gozaimasu. Dang it. I gotta say, we've been sitting here maybe 10 minutes and it came already, and everything looks fantastic. The price is $13.50 for everything you see here, and that is including an alcoholic beverage and soy sauce that I assume I get to bring home. Or maybe not. Let's start over here with the miso. This is the perfect hangover cure, a nice savory broth in the morning. It tastes of fermented soybean and seaweed. It's umami. It's better than coffee in the morning. Then we go over to here. Scrambled eggs done the Japanese way. To go with it, we have this right here. Tomato ketchup. Here we go. It's pretty good. It's like a loose, soft, savory egg with some very sweet ketchup. Now I need a palate cleanser and something healthy. A dish known as banana. Let me tell you about banana. Banana has one ingredient. The ingredient is banana. Even though it's one ingredient, it does have to undergo kind of a process. They actually take the peel off of the banana. Now, if you look closely, you can see they've actually sliced the banana, and they put it into a cup, give you a fork to retrieve the banana. It seems a lot more complicated than it is, but it's pretty straightforward. Cheers. Those are the classic flavors of banana that I remember from my childhood. So even though some of this is going to be new to me, that tastes familiar.
The one reviews of banana, like
Thank you. That's a big fucking compliment. If you ask most foreigners what their least favorite food is in Japan, it's going to be that natto, fermented soybeans. We'll get to that soon. But first, this porridge. Now they've got some sliced green onion on top, some egg, shrimp, some chicken, and then the porridge, which is not like a congee. It is more like a rice soup. That's nice. Deeply savory and satisfying. It tastes like a chicken stock. It's very salty. It's very good. Beyond that, they're just piling the meat in here. Look at that, little shrimpies. The last meat right here is the chicken. Looks like some lean chicken breast that's probably been brined for 75 days to make it nice and moist. It's absolutely delicious. I love it. This was a little too heartwarming. Let's drink some of this to cleanse the purity of my heart.
Bring back the demons.
Let's try this. This is a soft-boiled egg. It's basically a half raw, semi-warm yolk. It's creamy, it's delicious. But then there's this. This is something called natto. Let's unveil the natto within. Yes, already you are seeing the slime from the natto. After you open the natto, you're actually supposed to mix the natto. Take a look at that. Oofda. Cheers.
No soy sauce? No mustard?
Raw dogging. That's my boy right there.
The sliminess leaves something to be desired. It is very gloopy, very slimy. But here's the thing, the flavor actually needs a little flavor enhancement. First, I'm gonna put in a little bit of wasabi. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of soy sauce. And then I'm gonna create a vessel on which the beans can thrive. Try finding this at the Denny's in the USA. I'm talking about seaweed. Ooh, look at all those flavors. Throw that onto some seaweed and toss it back. Now it's at least 4% better. Natto, not my favorite, but it will grow on you. Literally don't let it grow on you. It's full of bacteria. So that is breakfast at Denny's, but in just 10 minutes from now, lunch is gonna begin. And lunch presents a whole new world of opportunities. Let's get to it. All right, folks, let's talk about the vibe of the menu. First of all, foods here, they're looking much more substantial, much more complex. For example, here we have a rice casserole with hamburger steak and curry sauce. A lot going on there. Beyond that, they have a huge assortment of pastas. They have all kinds of hamburger steak. Then they have some rice dishes here. On the backside, delicious udon noodles. I'm not gonna be getting the udon noodles today, but I love the idea of a Denny's having an udon option. Chicken with teriyaki sauce and mayonnaise and bacon with broccoli. I don't even know, they just keep adding words. Earlier during breakfast, I said, oh, they don't really have any omelets here. It turns out, incorrectamundo. This is a cheesy rice omelet. It looks incredible. I'm gonna get that. Beyond that, it has something much more substantial. Now this is what I call a lunch food. 2 hamburger steaks. Beef hamburger steak with Japanese style sauce and fried shrimp. So that is the lunch menu. And just like a 10-year-old whose parents don't love him, let's head to the iPad. Cheese, omelet, rice. We're gonna hit that first. Oh, it's so customizable.
I want to say yes to everything.
French fries with cod roe and mayo. Boom. One. This one. Hamburger steak with fried shrimp. Boom. How about drinks? No. Oriental sauce? Okay, first of all, I didn't say it. You did. I'm not touching that one. Let's get one Oriental sauce. What could it hurt? Actually, can I get extra Oriental? So, for everything I've just ordered, it is 3,003 yen. Order confirmed. As soon as you order, you hear a ding in the kitchen and you know they are already at work.
You may have noticed that Denny's in Japan is far different from the US version, with fewer fistfights too. Here, the Denny's interiors are sleek and modern. It's also a popular hangout for students and salarymen. But here's the twist. That 24-hour diner vibe you'll find in the USA, it cuts off here at 11 p.m. sharp in Japan. That said, they do have a drink bar with a wide range of beverage options.
Ah, the drink bar. This place has everything you could ever want. They have an ice machine. They have a soda machine. Over here we have iced tea. We have oolong tea. If you like hot tea, they've got like 20 different varieties right here. Coffee machine. What are you? Water? That's not water. Right here, some other kind of a dark liquid. Here, they even have disgusting American drip coffee, just like a real Denny's. So I'm gonna get some diner drinks, starting with this. Ooh, a nice Colombian roast. Now it's putting in a white liquid. The latte is becoming a latte. And this is the final result, a hot, delicious latte. Over here, wow. In Japan, this is a very large cup. Right here, I want a Coke Zero, right? But then I can have a sub flavor. How about lime Coke Zero? All right, so I've got my lime Coke Zero. I've got my latte. Let's go sit down and get lunch. First of all, I've got 2 main courses and 1 kind of a side dish, and all of this for $20. That is remarkable. Moving on, course 1 right here is French fries with mayonnaise and cod roe. My first time having cod mayonnaise. Let's go for it. The mayonnaise is really coming through. It's got some little speckles, like it's got some texture in there. It basically tastes like mayonnaise with a little bit of fish. I'm gonna work my way up to this big, gargantuan, substantial meal here. But first, rice, egg, and cheese. Take a look at the amount of sauce that's gone on here. It's a friggin' sauce apocalypse over here. Ooh, I see some stringy cheese. When you peel back the egg, you see the rice, and then the cheese is kind of mixed in with the rice. Oh, ho, ho, cheese pull. Wow, that tastes like daycare food. I love it. You don't have to chew it. Really simple flavors. Just a sweet brown sauce. Loads of this salty rice. The egg is fluffy and perfectly covers everything like a dome. This is really satisfying. Big winner right there. Cleanse the palate with some lime Coke Zero. A little bit of latte for energy. A little bit of whiskey because the latte made me anxious. Next dish. All right, folks, we have our main course right here. They put vegetables on the side here. It looks like some boiled spinach. We've got sliced potatoes. This is our main meat, along with a fried shrimp. This is lunch. An absolutely perfect tartar sauce. Creamy, vinegary, pickly. It's so good. Next, this is a hamburger steak. It cuts very easily. Why? Because it's kind of like a hamburger. It looks essentially like a meatloaf. Let's give it a shot. This needs ketchup. Like real Midwestern white trash style. I want a meatloaf. I want it in a bread tin. And I want the whole top glazed, absolutely covered, smothered in ketchup. It's a delicious, uniform texture. It's full of fat and it's full of flavor and seasonings. So that is breakfast and lunch here at Japan's version of Denny's. This was extremely affordable, but next I'm gonna aim for something that's extremely expensive. I wanna see how much money I can spend at Red Lobster in Japan. I'm also curious to see how different the menu is because I've heard it is nothing like the Red Lobster in the USA. We're gonna head there now. Let's move. From Denny's, we have come to a mall in Tokyo where we have arrived at the Red Lobster. Red Lobster is an American casual dining restaurant chain specializing in seafood, particularly lobster, shrimp, and crab. In many small towns throughout America, this might be the nicest restaurant in that town. That was certainly the case when I grew up for a long time in St. Cloud, Minnesota. It's one of my absolute favorite restaurants to go to, not even for the seafood, because usually the lobsters look pathetic. They're usually huddled in the corner of some kind of pathetic aquarium like they're in a FEMA camp fresh after a hurricane. What I love about Red Lobster are all the other creations. Cheddar Bay biscuits, seafood pizza, and the best tartar sauce you will find anywhere. But that's in the USA. How do things work here in Japan? Let's go inside and find out. We are now entering the Red Lobster where we have no permission to shoot. It is 3 p.m. It is not that busy in here. All right, folks, we have just been sat and we have the menu right here. In the front, I did see a lobster tank, but I blew right past it, so I wanted to take a look at the menu first. Later, we'll say hi to the lobsters. First of all, different options of sake. Now, that's something you won't find in the US version of Red Lobster. Now, eventually we'll get into this, but here they have several different preparations of the live Maine lobster. This is something that stands out to me here. You can get a whole oyster sampler platter and even some fried oysters too. Ooh. Beyond that, we have this. It is the ultimate seafood plate, and I don't need any translation for that. Let's talk about the layout of the restaurant. It leaves a bit to be desired. It's big, it's open, it's a bit plain and a bit dated. That said, they have this. This is a button that when you press it, a human will appear. Hi, could I please have this and the ultimate seafood plate? Arigatou gozaimasu. All right, so our first course is on the way. The price, it's expensive. I'll tell you how much soon. All right, folks, we have our first course right here. 2 appetizers, starting with this right here, the oyster trio. Now, what types of oyster are they? Couldn't tell you. One of them's plain, I'll tell you that. And then what, maybe cheese? And then green sludge is the last one. For these 9 oysters right here, it comes to $25.66. So let's get into it. Right here we have a medium-sized oyster. I'm gonna hit this with a little bit of lemon. Let's toss back an oyster. It tastes somewhat fresh, a little briny, a little salty, a little meaty. It's okay. I think it could use a little bit of help though. That's why over here I'm checking out the cheese department. Oh, look at that. You know the cheese is good when it kind of develops a skin on top. Not everyone can say their oysters have a thick skin. Here, you can. Cheers. Cheesy, creamy, intense. A bold flavor. Let's move on to this, the last one, the green sludge oyster. Not bad. That's kind of a pesto oyster. It tastes like oil and like some basil and a lot of it. Very flavorful. So that is our oyster trio, but then we have this right here. This is the rock star of seafood samplers. This here comes in at an astonishing $31. First of all, snow crab legs. Then we've got some cold mussels. We have a little bit of salmon with capers on top, some bigger mussels with some kind of a vegetable salsa, raw oysters, and then up here, it is crowned with 4 shrimp and the best part right here, 2 lobster claws. I think we're gonna start right here with the salmon. Okay, it's basically when you go to a breakfast buffet that has cold salmon, it's that, but not bad. Let's move on to the mussel. As you rip off one shell, it reveals the meat of the mussel and then this fantastic looking pico. Chewy mussel and a very bright, vibrant kind of vegetable salsa. It tastes amazing. So far, so good. In fact, for the price, pretty good. That said, this is not better or cheaper than going to a Japanese restaurant that has Japanese seafood. So I'm still trying to figure out how there's possibly a hole in the market here in Japan where folks feel like they needed a Red Lobster. Let's move on to this. This is something you'll also not find in the USA, and that is a shrimp with some body parts hanging off. Now, it's not difficult to deshell a shrimp, but it's also not difficult to butcher a cow. Either way, I don't want to do it when I go to a restaurant. So let's get a little bit of a dip. This is either ketchup or cocktail sauce. It's just ketchup. Where's the cocktail sauce? I've also noticed that there is absolutely no tartar sauce, and the tartar sauce is my favorite part about going to Red Lobster. From here, we're moving on to the lobster claw. Now, here's the thing. They gave me another sauce here, but I don't know what it is. Oh, it's like apple cider vinegar, probably for the oysters. So then for the lobster, there's nothing left. Well, my friends, I'm just gonna eat it plain. Everything tastes okay. All I've been doing for the last week, by the way, is eating the most pristine, precious, freshest seafood in all of Japan. And this ain't it. This is something that's been frozen since last October. So that is our first course. But next, we're gonna be trying something that you definitely will not find in the USA. Let's get that next. This is known as salmon roe and caviar jewel smørbrød. I think it's a Danish word. Basically, it looks like an open-faced sandwich. Technically, there are 3 types of eggs on this bread. First of all, chicken egg. The next one, salmon roe. The next one, caviar. But is it really caviar? No. Let's give it a shot. Mayonnaise, shrimp, avocado, eggs. I'm ashamed at how much I enjoy that. That said, you're never gonna find a mainstream American seafood restaurant selling salmon roe. Next food, right here. Now, yes, you will find shrimp in the USA, but you won't ever find fried shrimp served with the head, the shell, the tail, the legs still attached. Cheers. Very good. The shell is thin enough that when they've fried it, it's become kind of crunchy. Beyond that, it's absolutely coated with this spicy masala. It's pretty intense. Now let's talk about the final food that you will never find at an American Red Lobster, and that is the fried soft shell crab. These are the claws, that is the main body, and those are the legs underneath. I know what you're thinking. Hey, Sonny, people eat this in the USA. Yeah, I know, but you're not gonna see people frying, serving, and eating whole crabs like this at a mainstream restaurant like Red Lobster in the Midwest. For a Midwesterner, this would give them a heart attack, even more than their ordinary diet, which is already giving them heart attacks. Moving on, this is what I want to start with right here, the soft shell crab claw. Soft? Oh, it's so weird. Biting into this, it has some hint of flavor similar to eating fried crickets. Oh yeah, take a look at that. You can see all of the head fat inside is squeezed out of the body. Real mixed right now. Out of this world in not the best way. I'm so sorry, Japan. So those are 3 foods that you will never find in a US Red Lobster. But what about the lobster? Let's go check those out now and cook those up next. Right here we have the live Maine lobster. These are big lobsters. Well, konnichiwa, my little friend. He's got some nice sized claws and he's got that juicy tail too. This is my favorite type of lobster. You guys can enjoy your spawny lobsters all day, but for me, it's all about that clawed American lobster. I mean, lobster is named clawed, C-L-A-U-D. Now, if you look down here, you're gonna see some much smaller ones. This is what you usually see in the USA. Something that weighs like 1 pound, but these up here, ooh. It's certainly not the biggest lobster I've ever held, but it's the biggest lobster at a Red Lobster that I've ever lobstered. Wait, what? It's $130 to get this bad boy right here steamed up. Am I gonna do it? Yeah, of course. I came to Japan Red Lobster. I'm getting some lobster.
So here's my plan. To make the most of my time at Red Lobster in Japan, I'm going for 2 lobsters. One classic steamed lobster, and the other, well, you'll find out soon.
They really just let you molest the lobsters and no one says anything. It's like being on the set of a Nickelodeon show or something. Anyways. All right, folks, so the live lobster has arrived and it is right here and it's beautiful. Now, if I want to, I can cut it open myself, but here, our trusty server says he will do it for me. Please. Step 1, remove the claw. Step 2, remove other claw. This lobster is officially an amputee. Ooh. Inside, it is revealed succulent lobster meat. The claw gets the same cutting treatment. Then he removes the tail from the body, splitting it down the center. Ooh, what a beauty. Now, my friend who I just met, he comes from the Japanese prefecture of Bangladesh, and he taught me a lot about lobsters. First of all, he walked me through the weight of every single size of lobster, but then he showed me a secret lobster area. There is a reserve tank. In the reserve tank, there are gigantic lobsters bigger than this. I asked him if I could buy one of those lobsters instead, and he said,
No, you can't order this.
oh, really?
You have to reserve this one.
These lobsters are much bigger. They're maybe, I would say, 3 to 4 pounds. The question is, what kind of person is ordering a lobster and reserving it so they can eat it here at Red Lobster? Moving on. Here we have the actual lobster. It looks pretty good. I'm gonna pull out some of this wrist meat. best bite of the night. Sweet, fatty, lobstery, and in fact, I learned these lobsters come from Canada, meaning they'll soon be considered American lobsters. Welcome, Canada. Welcome. From there we have this right here. This is the tail of the lobster. That's a decent sized, juicy looking tail. Cheers. All right, nice. A little tough, a little sinewy, but still juicy, sweet. Now I'm starting to get it. Red Lobster is a place to go to in Japan when you don't want soy sauce and you don't want wasabi. This is a place you go to when you want drawn melted butter. Seafood, butter, it's better. It's the American way. But then there's this. This is something that's absolutely not American at all. Initially, he called it miso. But then I remembered, I believe miso can either mean the kind of internal organs or it can mean fermented soybeans. And this right here, those ain't soybeans. Oh, umami, a little seafoody, savory. That's nice. It almost tastes like crab head fat, but the lobster version of that. From here on this lobster, you can see they've done the same thing. This is also that head butter, but they put some of this special sauce on here. Let's talk about the preparations. As far as I understand, in the USA, you can get a steamed lobster and that's about it. But here you can get it steamed, you can get it oven roasted, you can get it spicy, or you can get it with this sauce. It looks like cheese, but this is in fact a sea urchin sauce. So I'm gonna grab this part of the tail and start to peel out the lobster from within and reveal that gooey, warm sauce on top. Let's go for it. Oh, it's like a thick gravy, rich, savory, a little seafoody brininess to it. That is an epic, strange sauce, but I like it. Sea urchin is uni, it's very fatty. Here they made it into a decadent sauce, put it on top of the lobster, and somehow it works. I also kind of like this. Lobster guts with sea urchin sauce on top. That should be our final bite of the day. I kind of like it. It pairs perfectly with this, a Japanese highball. Balance. Here's what I like about it. They're making use of every part of the lobster. This is true nose to tail cooking here. In the USA, that would just be discarded. So from here, we're heading outside and I'm gonna tell you if Japan is actually improving American casual dining food or if they've made it worse. Let's head outside and I'll reveal the truth. In this video, I tested American casual dining restaurants here in Japan. So were they better or were they dramatically worse? Well, it depends on which restaurant we are talking about. In some ways, I would say Denny's was better. I liked in Denny's that I didn't really have to talk to people that much. Ordering on the iPad, amazing. Oriental sauce, why do they call it that? But also amazing. So even though they didn't have the breadth of unhealthy food that we have in the USA at Denny's, I thought pretty good. But then there's Red Lobster. Wow, Red Lobster, as I said earlier, it's one of my guilty pleasures. But Red Lobster in Japan? Huh? What are they doing? Red Lobster in Japan is unique because they have so many different creations that we don't have in the USA. But is most of it good? No. No, it's not. I think that if you are in Japan looking for seafood and you end up at Red Lobster, something happened along the way. Bad parenting, drug overdose, using Apple Maps instead of Google Maps, any of those are possible options. The only thing better about the Red Lobster here in Japan is the variety of ways to prepare a fresh live Maine lobster and the fact that they have so many lobsters and some pretty big ones, but the price is a pretty big detractor. Sometimes when you come to Japan, they do things a little bit better and sometimes they do it way worse. That's why I say, when you're in Japan, go eat Japan stuff.
Discover Japan and beyond through food experiences with buyfood.com. Join a local food tour and dive into food experiences across vibrant neighborhoods, hidden gems, and family-run eateries.
It's so good.
From sizzling street snacks to Michelin-starred feasts. Buy Food connects you to the soul of local cuisine.
I've never had anything like this.
Book food tours, cooking classes, and more on buyfood.com.